Okay, so let's move into the love story. Let's move into like how did you meet your guy now?
Okay, so we did meet online.
Okay.
So I had actually got to the point where I was quite disillusioned with it all. I'd been
Hmm.
on a few dates. You do have to kind of, I was very selective. So I used to keep my profile closed and then I would
Hmm.
open up and it was a bit weird because you'd feel like you go shopping. So you would
Yeah.
open up your profile and you'd sort of flick through, oh, he looks nice. And
Hmm.
no, no. And then you'd have a few messages, you'd respond. And I'd got to the point where I was like, no, I'm done. I'm done with this. And I saw Matt's, his name's Matt. I saw his picture and I thought, oh, okay. And I just literally dropped him a message that said, hey. And that was it because I
Yeah.
was so disillusioned with it all. And I was sort of like getting
Yeah.
to the point where I was like, no, this is never going to work. And I'm never going to find anyone genuine
Yeah.
or someone that is really for me. Because the nice thing about online dating, of course, is that you can read a few things about people that you think, okay, we've got similar interests. We like the same things, or where do we live in
Yeah.
comparison to each other? And so you can do all of that. Whereas actually, when you're face to face meeting people for the first time, you
Yeah.
can't really ask them all those things. Otherwise, it feels a bit like an interview. So so I dropped him a hey. He was very similar. He didn't really, although he was on there, he didn't really actively he wasn't actively looking
Yeah.
for anybody. And he sort of thought, oh, I'll have a look at this message. And then I literally I think he replied, something like, well, that was a lot of words, hey, or something. And I just said, if you want a message, here's my number. And that was it. And I kind of give him my number.
Wow.
And because I found that I didn't really like being on there and like I kept my
Mm.
profile closed all the time unless I was actually on there. And it
Yeah.
allowed me to cut to the chase. It allowed
Wow.
me to
Yeah.
go, if the person is, I don't like them, I just block them on my number, then they can't contact me.
Yeah.
Um, and I'll never forget it because it took a while before we could talk. And I remember
Mm.
we were supposed to talk one night, and I had to delay it for some reason. And his response was, "Okay, I'll put my nightie on." And it just really made me laugh. And I thought, okay, so he's got a sense of humor. And
Yeah.
we spoke on the phone later that night. And then it took ages to actually get together. He was in a show, he was working, I was busy.
Mhm.
And it really took a long time to get together. So then the first time, it's quite a few months later, the first time
Yeah.
that we met in a coffee shop for coffee. And yeah, kind of never looked back, really.